Hello and welcome to DDOCaSplat. We are a static group that plays on Khyber and has a lot of fun and talks about random things and gets ourselves killed a lot. Usually in some order and combination thereof. Hi guys, welcome back. We had a week off. I went and played disc golf last week with some coworkers, so that was fun. And we did not hit anyone in the face.
Yes.
Uh,
I broke my nose playing frisbee golf.
we did have someone get hit by a disc though.
Ooh.
Well, someone kind of took a cavalier shot at the hole and the last hole and wasn't really paying attention, was kind of half-assing it and threw it a little too hard and wide right and threw it right into another guy. He was fine. It wasn't that hard, but
Would this be someone we know?
no. Unlikely.
Not you.
Me, I broke my nose playing frisbee golf. It's
I'm sure
right across my face.
I'm sure Patrick's beard would have protected him.
Not so much. I've been keeping the beard pretty closely shaven of late.
Looked pretty rough on the weekend podcast.
I mean, a little bit, but I've been trimming it quite a bit shorter than I usually do. Because usually what I'll do is I kind of trim it and then let it grow out for a while. Because it doesn't... My beard does not grow with any sort of alacrity. So I usually shave maybe every other week. Maybe. Since we like sports, I do feel like we should maybe have a moment of silence for Pac-12 and Big Ten football.
Okay, moment of silence.
Mountain West football, yeah, all sorts of.
More than a couple. I did see that the Big 12, SEC, and ACC are still planning on playing, which creates a whole lot of interesting questions about what the postseason's going to look like.
Yeah, and who are they going to play? They're in their non-conference games. That's what I want.
Well, most of them aren't even playing non-conference games.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
The ACC plus Notre Dame, who's tying in with the ACC, is playing. Last I heard, they were playing like it's either 10 or 11 plus 1. So it's all conference games plus one non-conference game within their. But I think that non-conference team has to be from within their own state. I think. Don't quote me on that. But my understanding was, based on what I was reading on ESPN, was that plus one game was mainly to allow for the ACC teams to play their SEC in-state rival. Like a lot of them, I guess, have a rival with an SEC team. But then the SEC, like 2 days later, said we're playing an entirely conference schedule. So I don't know what ACC's gonna do with that non-conference game now. Even if they get to play, right? Which is still a question. But hey, Major League is still playing, so good on them. It's gonna be a weird year.
Is Miami still? Are they playing, or did they quit?
I believe Miami is back to playing. I haven't really been paying attention, to be honest. But the Cardinals, I think, have had several games canceled.
The Cardinals in Miami, I think, have lost half their games already. They've canceled half their games.
That they total, or that they could have played?
No, that they could have played.
Yeah, okay. I think that number might actually be higher, because I think I remember hearing that the Cardinals had only played 5 games, and the team that I happened to be watching, they're talking about how they've already played like 13 games.
This must be the
So
hidden
it's
entrance the Davis spoke of.
pretty nuts. The Cardinals manager, I think, had a pretty astute and I thought appropriate comment on the whole thing, though. He said something to the effect of, "It's not fair, and who cares? Like, we're playing baseball in the middle of a pandemic. It's not gonna be fair.
You found your
Like,
way inside the fortress.
fair is not something
Now to investigate
we should really be
Eretricos' plan.
concerned with. We should be concerned with not having outbreaks in teams and doing the best we can, and understand that some teams probably won't play the same number of games as other teams." And I think we got to prepare ourselves for that to be true of football too. As far as I know, the NFL's essentially going with the same game plan that the MLB is going with. Well, actually, it's not true. They're going with the NFL's not really adjusting anything, right? Because MLB
Just
is
no fans.
right. Because MLB is playing just within their division, and within the other league division that's in the same region, right?
Yeah, that's because of a reduced schedule, though.
Carnage Reaper.
Ooh, boy. Oh, where are
Whoa.
you?
I'm right here. I was nuking the carnage.
That's generally a good plan.
The devils quarter their tiefling
Um,
slaves here in the depths of their citadel.
The MLB is doing the region-based thing to limit spread, right? They're essentially creating like pseudo bubbles, in that they've essentially created 3 separate bubbles for teams to play in, albeit with travel. Which one are we in? Devil's Details.
Coming.
Yes.
Oh, hello, Carnage Reaper.
Trying to help them. Throwing spells in like 5 different directions here. But yeah, as far as I know, the NFL is just playing their normal schedule,
So far,
which, I mean, that kind of, I
The
think,
devils
makes
keep the
more
slave quarters
sense.
sealed off from the rest of the compound.
I guess they could,
You'll have to find some way to open the gate.
because they already play 2 games in their own division, and that's 6 games. I guess they could play 2 games against the teams in the other conferences regional division. You could do that, I suppose.
The barracks
Well,
gate
4. They
swings
would play
open,
those teams
revealing a
once. There's 4
passage
teams in the
leading up
division.
into the heart
Well,
of the
but that,
devil's
I mean, they don't do
fortress.
it by cross division, right? It's a rotating thing.
Well, that's how they normally would do it. Yes.
Right. Yeah. But if you played the other 4 teams in the corresponding conference twice as well, you'd have you'd have 14 games, right? 8 and 6, 14. That's almost a full season. And I kind of feel
The
like
gate leading up
that's
into
about
the
as much as
tower
they
is
should
open.
really expect. You know,
need to find a way to
if
open
each
it
team gets more than
to
14
find
games, I
Eretricos.
feel like that they've had a good year, right?
Considering.
Yeah.
clear.
See, the Patriots are AFC East, right?
Correct.
See, now I'm not sure I like this plan, because that means the NFC East is going to play the AFC East, which means the Cowboys would probably have a really good year, considering the
They're not going to have a good year. They have McCarthy.
well. Wow, bias, recency bias much? but no.
Just nothing but the facts.
Sun was scorched and blackened, as if seared by Some intense
Well,
force.
but if the Cowboys played each team in the other team in the NFC East twice, and each team in the AFC East twice, I would expect they would have a pretty darn good year. And the reason why that's important is because Arcot and I's guild leader is a big Cowboys fan. And I'm really just not okay with his team having a better year than my team. Mostly because
worry,
I give him
they won't.
Me
grief
either.
about it. Yeah. I mean, mostly because I've grown accustomed to really enjoying talking
Two
smack
Reapers,
about
fear
him.
and famine.
So I can hold on him. Hey.
Famine.
But so far, my prediction that the baseball season will continue is holding true, which is a hell of a lot more than I can say about pretty much every prediction I've made about DDO in the last 2 months. Hell, this week's show I said something to the effect of, well, it sounds like Lamania is going to be this week, and then we'll get update 47 either next week or the week after. Nope. No Lamania. Couple carnage.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's a nice, lovely hold.
Well done.
Yeah, it was better than I expected. I guess the Trogs don't have much spell resistance, like everything else in this dungeon. Yeah. Ow.
Whoa.
Ow.
Healing,
Or ow.
healing, 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 healing. There you go.
Put this place back on. Anyone paying attention to the basketball or hockey seasons?
Nope, not a
Stop.
bit.
I saw the headbutt of the week last night.
Was that in what was I saw something on ESPN about a headbutt, but I didn't.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was.
Player.
Yeah, it was. What's his name? Giannis.
It-
Some guy got in his face on a play, and he headbutted him.
I'm still not sure if we're talking basketball or hockey.
Basketball.
Okay.
Basketball.
I did see that there was a second benches clearing brawl this year in MLB, and they have suspended the bench coach that was involved with that for 20 games.
Yeah, they're not gonna have any patience for that kind of stuff anymore.
The two players that have instigated benches clearing brawls have both been suspended for. Well, no, one was for.
Look out, Otzi.
This guy was 6, I think, and the last one was like 8 games. Something like that.
Ow.
Watch out for those blades. They hurt.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's kind of the right approach, right? Like, MLB said at the beginning of the season, like, benches clearing brawls, not okay. Which kind of feels like something that shouldn't have to be said, right? Like,
A little bit.
really shouldn't happen anyways, but they did say at the beginning of the year, like, we're not gonna stand for this. So I would expect if you instigate one, you should expect some hefty response.
See, I generally don't have a problem with physical aggression on the field. If it was somebody, a football player, took his helmet and bashed somebody, that's different. But if it's just gonna be two guys just punching each other's lights out, on the pitcher's mound, then that I can look past that.
Man, I have mixed feelings about it, but that's partly a lot of that's coming from a perspective of someone who umpires kids, and we gotta do the lever up here still. But from someone who umpires kids, and never mind. I'll just pull. Someone did pull the lever. As for someone who umpires kids and has, like, you see kids kind of emulate what happens in the majors. So I don't really.
Again, I don't have a problem with kids getting an occasional fist fight. I really don't.
I would say that there still needs to be consequences for it, but
Of course, but you have to tell them that it's not cool. But again, it's not the end of the world, and
I would agree with that.
I wouldn't give it too much make more of a big deal out of it than it is.
Yeah, I think that's a good approach.
The devils have been researching some arcane topic here. Tomes of magic
I-
lore and scraps of instinct.
I feel like I could make a pretty strong argument that we could do a lot of good in our country just by teaching kids to have a lot more grace in how they deal with people. And people making mistakes and doing things stupid, So. Is there a chest behind this, or is it just a thingy? There's a chest behind here.
Yeah, it's locked.
Well, we do have a rogue.
That's it. I feel like this is a fixable problem. We have an alchemist, too.
Yeah, but I can't open things.
You don't have melt lock?
Nope.
Really? Interesting. Love melt lock.
Below stands Eritrakos.
Well, it is open when
Street
you come
Reaper.
back.
To the
Because
tower.
normally we're
It
playing
tells
with
us
Shurza, so there's no
It's
reason for me to.
Of
Yeah.
When
course.
I saw it on my list, I went, well, I don't need that.
Yet what is there for us on Eberron? It is Shavarath we seek to conquer. I should have you flayed for insubordination, booms the pit fiend. Still, you might as well know. The ritual must be performed in the prime material plane. Only there can we complete the schematics. Only there can we launch our plan to seize Shavarath. Now be gone. I shall meet you in the tower. A deep rumbling sound reverberates from the courtyard. The gate to the tower is now open.
Let's see, where is that chest at? There it is. By the way, Arcot, that picture you posted on Facebook of the scenery around your place was a really nice picture.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
You've only been in your neck of the woods once, and that was many years ago. And that's
Did you go to the park, Yellowstone?
yeah, we drove through it. We drove to Minnesota and we stopped at Yellowstone and the Jewel Caves.
Don't know the Jeweled Caves. Where are they?
East of Yellowstone. Somewhere between Yellowstone and Rushmore. I was in 8th grade. That's as good as I can do for you.
Yeah, that must be in South Dakota because I don't know.
No, it's
of
in
any.
Wyoming.
The Jeweled Caves. All right, I'll look it up.
I think it's just Jewel, but I'm not entirely sure. It
Okay.
was a place that my
Eritrakos
dad
stands
had
before
gone
an open portal below.
when he was
Eberron is our next
younger
battlefield,
with
says the pit
his
fiend.
folks and his
When I
brothers and
return,
sisters.
all of Shavarath will belong to
And
the
so
devils.
he wanted to stop there. He wanted to
Protect
take
my
me there.
fortress while I
'cause,
am gone. You can begin
but
by
he,
destroying
the
this
funny part
fortress
about that
using
was he
space.
missed
The pit fiend steps into the portal
because we
and
ended up
vanishes.
going. We went into the
Your
Jewel
enemy
Caves,
gives a
but
cry
it
of fury and flies
it
at
turns
you,
out that there
sword in
are
hand.
essentially two tours, or at least two like turnoffs to go into the caves and experiences. And the one that he went to was like you go down an elevator and like kind of all nice and it's kind of built out a little bit. The one we went on was here's a paint can with a candle in it, and we're gonna go spelunking.
See, that one I would have much rather taken that tour.
It was a happy accident. We really enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
It was far longer than he had expected though. Like, cause
Protect the fortress.
we hit
Right,
Yellowstone
Khyber.
and then
And Abishai
drove out of
was
Yellowstone
vulnerable.
and got a hotel for the night, right? and then we were intending on stopping at the Jewel Caves and then hitting Mount Rushmore, and then getting a hotel. But the cave tour was like maybe 2 hours or something. Like, it was a lot longer than he had expected. I mean, it was really cool, and we were really happy that it happened, but we ended up getting out of there a lot later. So we intended on getting a hotel and hitting Rushmore in the morning. And that's when we discovered that we were in the South Dakota area at the same time as the Sturgis Bike Rally.
Which is right now.
It is right now, the same time of year. But anyone who's familiar with the Sturgis Bike Rally in that area at that time can surmise that we did not get a hotel that night.
Yeah, there's like 250,000 people in this little tiny town
I
in
thought it
South
was
Dakota.
more than that, but I thought they were expecting 250,000 this year, so I kind of assumed that it was
You've won the battle, but the
more
enemy
than
has
that
delayed you while the Defiler
normally.
escaped to the prime material plane.
But we ended up seeing we ended up seeing Mount Rushmore that night.
We
We got to see the special light up ceremony, so that was kind of cool.
Oh, neat.
However, I missed seeing very much of South Dakota because we basically drove across the state at night.
At night.
Nice thunderstorms going on though, and conveniently like not raining on us, just like lightning around us. It was really beautiful at night and kind of fun. But it wasn't exactly what we were what we were expecting to happen. So, you know. I feel like that went a lot easier than the quest we did last week.
Much
Yeah.
much easier.
Pick up
2 weeks ago.
Pick up a guy. Yeah, right.
Oh, do I need my boots?
No,
Okay.
that's Tower of Despair.
Okay.
I found us some friends.
Friends?
People to help come die with us?
Yeah, that's probably more accurate.
That's a friend, right?
You're gonna have to remind me how to do this. The two times I've done this raid was when it was so laggy that we just quit and gave up. I never went back.
Sure. Hang on a sec. Fighting people into
Yeah.
if they want to.
Why can't I see myself? Can you see me?
I can hear
We can
you.
hear you.
Can
Can see you.
me?
Sure, I see you.
I can't see myself.
Huh?
That's not the person I wanted to invite. Oops.
I think I'll be right back. That's weird.
Are you maybe in the first person point of view?
No. I zoomed in, I zoomed out.
Okay, well.
I
It
have
can happen
disappeared.
occasionally. I've had that happen to me once or twice. Like, it just makes it so you can't you don't see your character.
Oh, I figured out my darkness problem.
You did?
Yeah, well, I didn't figure it out. I didn't fix it because I can't. But I know how to play with. You have to change some of your DDO settings, and you basically can't play in windowed mode anymore.
Well, that's what I told you. You have to play in full
No.
screen mode.
Well, I did, but I didn't like doing that because I like having two screens. But there's nothing I can do about it. It's a Windows issue.
You're talking about
Yes.
the gamma thing?
It's not gamma. But yeah.
Are you getting a driver error disconnect?
No, it's because I have an older NVIDIA card, and Windows. I guess a year or two ago, Windows decided that it didn't like supporting dual monitor mode with certain settings, and I can get one monitor to work fine, but then I can't get the other. Then the other one doesn't work right. So I just went to full screen, and then I just put Discord behind DDO, and I just task back and forth if I need to get to it. But it's just like it just started happening like a month ago, 2 months ago maybe, just out of nowhere, and it must have been some Windows. Apparently, some Windows update aggravates the situation, and there you have it. Apparently, if you have a newer video card within the last 2 years, 3 years, you don't have the issue. It's because of some legacy NVIDIA stuff.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Hi, Tasher.
Oh, good.
Welcome to DDOCaSplat.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to those of you who have come to die.
Throw yourself bodily in front of it.
What is this?
What's what?
Are we doing Reaper Champions? Then I'd be prepared to die.
Oh no.
Or
This
I'd be
is
okay.
this is my static group that started as a permadeath group.
Nice.
And let's just say that we dropped the permadeath because of the propensity to die.
Yeah, right.
And we haven't really, since we dropped the permadeath, we've only become much more cavalier about dying.
AKA, he tries to kill us.
I mean,
What,
Archon
you
helps a
send the
lot.
crowd and runs them over your body a couple times?
Like running through Three Barrel Cove and he shoots me with a big cannon.
Technically, it was a ballista.
I believe it.
Semantics.
And any quest with explosives.
I was mildly disappointed that
Bomberman.
it didn't hurt them very much.
I have a lot more hit points when I'm not in Reaper.
Anyone got friends that want to come? Otherwise, we'll just short man this.
We can check.
So to answer your question, Beaker, the way this works is there's two concurrent fail conditions that we have to prevent. One is you can only lose, if you lose 5 Archons, we fail, and they drop at intervals and generally in pairs. And then there's also reinforcements, and if the number of reinforcements ever reaches 12, we lose, and they generally come in 4, and then in later stages they come in groups of 8.
Rock and roll.
It's
Get it quickly.
Well, if we're going to short man it by, 4 short, I be careful which difficulty you choose.
I mean, I was thinking maybe normal, maybe hard, but
Yeah, let's go for hard.
if we fail, we can always go back in on normal really fast.
My God, I'm gonna go nuts
Failing
at you.
hard.
Kind of the idea. We're kind of doing it
Just
more
give me-
for fun
Give me
than
an
anything
entire
serious.
side. Just give me an entire side.
As long as there's no water that kills me, I'll be fine. 'Cause
Ulan's
that was
up.
horrific.
There are explosions that will kill you. Does that count?
Gulan is interested. Am I going through?
I sent him an invite.
Cool.
Hey guys. Hey Gulan. We just stepped in. Roger that.
I figure we'll camp in the middle when we get to the main section and break off as needed.
10-4.
I kind of expect us to just kind of steamroll through it all. We just sang a
Yeah.
song to the other bard.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I mean, we have different songs styles, so
Mm-hmm.
it's not a complete waste, but it's kind of funny. Who needs blur?
Achilles would take blur.
And
I think I passed it out already.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah,
All your buffs, except for freedom.
you already had freedom. It comes with my song.
Bless you.
If you don't want freedom, I could not sing for you, but I feel like you want the other stuff.
Please.
I'm sure
I'll
you'll
sing you a song too.
I'm sure you'll just love having the regenerating spell points there, Stiff.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is all physical.
Yeah.
Gotta love spell points, though.
Alright, let's go have some fun and get ourselves killed.
The sounds of battle echo
That's not gonna be out
throughout
far
the
enough.
skies as the Archons and Devils continue their eternal war.
I should slot my my hammer with a gold or a good augment.
What good am I to you in a
Watch the blades.
Oh, look.
I'll tell you, these blades really hurt on R10. Come to where I'm standing. I am in a kind of a safe little slot here. And
Nope.
Oh,
Didn't make it.
blades are kind of mean. Do I
Little
have? I
bit.
do.
The inner
Thank you.
gate slams shut. and
Incoming.
Devil troops spring to the attack.
Prepare yourselves.
It is a trap.
Oh yeah, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh, I did drop a hand. Good. I need to start coming up with more uses for hands because they seem to be accumulating them much faster than I use them these days.
An
Alright, here we
Archon
go.
falls from the sky.
So we kill the two
Bound by the
executioners.
Devil's
That
will
lets
to find.
loose the
We must
Archon,
protect the fallen Archon at all costs.
and off we go.
The Devils are sending reinforcements through the portals on the
And
mezzanines.
reinforcements are
If they are
north.
not held back, the battle will be lost.
You just want us to go back and forth as necessary? Or
Yeah, pretty much. The real goal here is to get to the reinforcements before someone else kills them all.
Yep.
And apparently it looks like it's going to be that kind of overrun here.
Pac-Man, gobble gobble.
It's okay. And we just position ourselves and wait for Archons to drop. And our entire conversation has stopped. So sad.
watching the
That's the worst
skies.
part.
We're all waiting to die.
Just kind of hanging out.
Kind of
I
ran out of
was
sports to talk
dancing.
about too.
Another
I was
Archon has
dancing, but then
fallen.
Gulan ran away,
Dude.
so I just
Northeast,
kind of wondering if I.
or is that center?
Southwest.
That's a center.
Southwest. Center east.
Still one somewhere in the center.
Center on the bottom.
Oh,
Which
hello.
They're looking for Shirza.
Whoa,
Cool.
where's Otzi?
Got him.
Blade got me in the back.
And reinforcements are south. Apparently, if I invested a little bit into spell penetration, I'd probably hold more stuff. Alright, this is too easy. Let's start over on R4.
That sounds better.
This raid does not scale very nicely.
Nope.
I have noticed that
Another Archon has fallen.
same center.
South
Center
and
east.
I have noticed that orange and red names seem to scale harder, faster on Reaper. And traps kind of do the same.
We've also noticed we get a lot more lag in the higher difficulties.
This quest used to be just completely terrible, nigh unplayable.
Yep.
I don't know how many
Oh, with
attempts
the
I've given
lag, yeah.
I was actually pleasantly surprised when we did this on R10 that it was no real problems with lag.
Good.
They had a scaling feature on it. The higher difficulty you go on, it would scale the duration between rounds, so it got faster and faster and faster. And a Reaper, it was really bugged. I don't know what was happening there, but the scale Reaper would be insane.
It took us like 7 or 8 tries, I think.
Another Archon has fallen.
Southeast.
Northeast.
Blade still hurt.
Northeast.
Oh, somebody's blowing all the.
I heard someone drag the reinforcements to the Abishai. Was always a good way to kill a bunch of people in here.
What? That's cruel.
Drag the reinforcements to where people were fighting the executioners. Tended not to go over very well. Back when we were puny. I'm trying to remember, did this come out when Cap was 28 or were we already up to 30? I feel like
I want to say it before that. I want to say 25, but maybe not.
I feel like we would have been at least 28, right? But because the level list is what, 30 on yeah, it's 30 on normal. I bet we were 28. Sounds right.
Okay.
Another Archon has fallen.
Northwest.
Center. Ooh. I'm gonna bring this executioner to the northwest ramp. I don't think I'm gonna kill it fast enough by myself. I gotta say, if If this is the norm these days with how much lag there is, this raid is aging pretty well. It's a little repetitive and not as exciting as some others, but the concept is at least a pretty sound concept for a raid.
Mm-hmm.
This may be the only quest in the game that I like the fail. Like, I don't mind the fail mechanic.
Done it too many times and failed. Same here. It's like a
No, it's just like
Another Archon has fallen.
the fail mechanic is
Southeast.
part of the
Northeast.
raid in the sense that it's the whole point of the raid is to not get behind, right? It's a DPS race, and if you fail that, it kind of makes sense, right? You failed at the goal of the raid. It's not like don't kill these number of these mobs that are trying to kill you and are running in front of your attacks, kind of a thing, right?
Oh, like the spiders?
Yeah.
Let sleeping dust lie.
Or the wild men in Shrieking Mines, although they took that fail mechanic out. The coil fail mechanic, right? Protect coil.
Yep.
The fail mechanic in what's it called? Ritual Sacrifice. But I feel like they've beefed him up a lot. Like, I don't feel like I don't think I've seen him die in ages.
No.
Faithful Departed had an awful fail mechanic for a long time.
And they relaxed that one a lot too. Because there's like 4 venerated, and it used to you have to save them all. Now I think you only have to save like 1 or 2.
oh god, the venerated.
Yeah.
Well, and I think part of the problem was that
Center.
as NPCs we couldn't control them, and they kept running into battle and doing stupid things that
Yeah.
just. I mean, if you could just put them in a corner and they would just stay there, but
Kind of like coil. We're up to 8 for reinforcements, so they'll be both sides.
Uh-oh.
Kill it quickly.
Reinforcements in the north.
That was a good 10k crit.
Nice. Mr. Otzi, you need some spell points, sir. Here's a song.
You make it so happy in our heart.
Careful hanging out up there, Beaker. That's where the reinforcements
Another
spawn.
Archon has fallen.
The big guys. Like, northeast?
And
Southeast. Sorry, southwest.
The other southeast.
Yeah, your other east.
I'd tell you, but it's a secret.
Reinforcements in the south.
They're both sides. I think we're gonna have one more round. It's kind of nice doing this on casual hard.
Mm-hmm.
Relaxing. Little time to kind of chill in between and
Another Archon has fallen.
Southeast.
East.
Center west.
There's probably going to be 3.
Oh, look at all your friends, Sherza.
Cheers on making friends.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Oh god.
Not the lasting kind of friends, huh?
Nope.
Nope, we hope not.
Hey, Arcot, how the Steelers looking this year?
Well, they didn't lose anybody to, or none of their players have decided to sit out because of COVID. So they're going to have a full team. So that's good. I guess it really depends on what kind of shape Roethlisberger's in.
I saw something that said he was throwing pretty good. What is he, like 38?
He's too old. Yeah. Well, no, he is. I mean, we really needed to draft a quarterback in this past draft, but you know.
Yeah, it was you had like the Duck and what's the other guy?
Landry? No, he's not even. Yeah, he's no longer on the team. Landry. Oh,
Was
the other
Landry
guy.
Was Landry the Duck guy, or was that?
No, Landry Jones was a different guy, and he's on another team now. But
Oh,
I
didn't
forget
he go
who.
to the XFL?
Maybe.
Now owned by The Rock. Stop at the gate up there. Alright, so kill the worm, kill the Renegades. If you see green on the floor, move. If you see targeting circles on the ground, kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, there's lag on those circles.
Well, they don't... They're supposed to indicate where the explosion is, but they do not. They lie. That's the problem with them.
And sometimes you don't even see them at all.
Yeah, it can happen.
Or they're above your head.
I haven't ever seen that. It's not those,
I
not those
have.
kind of target circles.
You'll regret you ever came to Shavarath.
Oh, okay.
I
My
don't
pet
think
will
it's
make
going to
quick
survive very
work of
long.
you.
I don't either. It's the one thing about this raid that I really hated, is, besides the lag, was the targeting circles here just do not tell you where it actually is going to explode. But I can tell you, it is survivable on Reaper 10, because I survived it.
Wow.
Evasion for the win, man. I watched like 8 saves roll by on my screen, and I saved them all. Like, yeah, baby.
Perhaps someone back in Amrath would know more.
If you'd have told me that my
Almost
monk was
put
going to
up a
be one
fight,
of the
didn't
last
you?
ones standing on R10, I would not have believed you. Oh, anything fun?
Nope.
Nope.
Not for me.
Oh, that's lame.
Not going to find it on hard.
Could.
Been known
I
to
mean,
happen.
We used to have to run this on normal and hard, because you couldn't kill the lady at the end here fast enough.
I think we've had more loot on hard than we have had on Elite and Reaper.
Well, the R10 PN our guild just did. They got one item. And it should be like a 43% chance to get an item on 10 skulls.
That's funny.
The boots are by far the best. You got to get those boots from here. They're so awesome.
I did a normal PN not long ago, and we got 3 items in the chest.
Yeah, right?
It was funny.
We're just going to hang out in the load screen, are we? That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Whee!
Seems like.
Well, hey, that was fun. I think maybe we'll call it a night for DDOCaSplat. So thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Grubby, Tosh, and Simthal. Wait, Sifathal. For joining us.
Yes.
I have some practice with biblical names. The key with names is you say them fast and confidently, and hope that the actual it helps if the person isn't actually here, because then they don't hear you mispronounce it and they don't know. But anyways, thanks for watching us. You can check us out at live at twitch.tv/DDOCast. And you can also check out our weekly news and discussion podcast at DDOCast.com and live at the same Twitch place. And you can check us out on our YouTube DDOCast page as well. Check out DDO.com for the official DDO stream calendar, DDO forums, or to download and play DDO yourself. And you can follow us on Twitter at DDOCast for all that cast information. Thanks for watching.